All right, we're here. My name is John. Welcome to the Thought Dojo. We're here with Jaja Vankova, with my producer Mike over here, and this is our first podcast. Let's go. Yeah, I'm like really nervous because I've never found my cadence when it comes to like live podcast shows, so I'm like scared, nervous at the same time. But anyway, we have an international performer, dancer. She just hosted one of the dopest all styles events called Highlight the Style, which had a variety of dance styles that were highlighted. So, Yaya, tell us about how that came to be and who was all in the process of making this event.
So the first thought of this event came from me and Mary Poppins back in January or February. And I remember also that coming up to that event, I did an interview with Poppin Pete for my RR Alliance studies. RR Alliance is my company where I have my students, where I teach them and I create study guides for them. So I did an exclusive interview with Poppin Pete only for my students. And he mentioned in the interview that nowadays popping is an umbrella to all these other styles, to waving, boogaloo, snaking, strobing, strutting, and to scarecrow puppet and all these other styles. There is so many other styles that is under popping. And he explained to me in the interview that back in the day, all these styles were completely different styles. And that's how they got their names. That's why there was Boogaloo Sam, because his specialty was Boogaloo. That's why there was Poppin' Pete, because his specialty was popping. That's why there was Wave-O-Matic, because his specialty was waving. And then if you could do some other styles on top of that, that was extra and it was cool, but your specialty was always that one style. And I started to think about it. I was like, whoa, like nowadays we try to mix all these styles together, but then if I enter a popping battle with animation and robot, I have no chance of winning because I'm told that it's not popping. But then people consider animation and robot being under popping and popping being as an umbrella to it. So I kind of gave it a little deeper thought, and I like the idea of bringing this concept that Pete shared with me back. And I remember me and Mary, we had this idea. I think we met at an event and we had this idea like, oh hey, let's do something together, let's throw something together. So she came over for a meeting, and then naturally, without me even mentioning the Pete's concept, naturally we just came up with this idea for this event, and it kind of like went with the concept that Pete told me about as well. So we decided to throw an event called Highlight the Style. And it was the styles that were represented at this event was popping, boogaloo, tutting, waving, robot, and animation. And we didn't want to make it a competition, and we really wanted to invite the best of the best, and we didn't want them to be judged because we wanted to give them freedom. So we ended up inviting, I think in total 55 dancers, thinking that like 30-40% is not gonna show up. And actually only 2 dancers out of the 55 dancers showed up, and everybody was rapping. And it was even people not only from LA, but from Vegas, from Arizona, and from Utah as well.
Oh, wow.
And we didn't expect such a crazy turnout. Like all the OGs showed up, Tony Basil, Slim the Robot, and we had Flat Top battling as well, which he is an OG in animation too. And he brought Bob and Andre as well into the battles, which he's like a super OG to animation as well. Flat Top and Bob and Andre are like the main OGs for animation. And it's super hard to get in contact with Andre sometimes.
Oh, wow.
And it was really a pleasure to have him there at the event.
That's dope.
So it's
So you had all these OGs, all these dancers, all these different styles. Like, like what sparked the conversation between you and Mary Poppins? Like, hey, Mary Poppins, what's up? Like,
Yeah,
what do we do here?
we worked together before on a couple projects, but it was always like videos. And this time, I wish I remembered exactly what was it that made us do this event. I believe that we were together at an event, and maybe we came up with an idea, but we always wanted to do something together. And this just felt so natural that from the start, from the beginning, we had meetings like every 2 weeks, and our responsibilities like so like the chemistry, everything was really natural, and we were just working together so well that like even organizing such a it was pretty big event organizing such a big event, it was actually really easy for us. Like
Oh,
I
yeah.
was really surprised how easy it was.
So she was like fluid when it came to planning, when it came to meeting
Yes.
up, when it came to budgeting and all that stuff. She
Yeah,
was good.
100%.
Shout out, yeah, shout out to Mary Poppins, by the way.
Yes.
If y'all are watching this, y'all need to follow her. What's Mary Poppins' Instagram?
It's Mary Poppins Dancer,
Okay.
at Mary Poppins Dancer, I believe.
So is it Mary like Mary, or is it Marie?
Marye, Mary.
Okay,
Mary
cool, cool.
Poppins Dancer.
It's funny because I watched her. I think the very first time I watched her, she did like the Drake song with the kid, the Kiki challenge, and I was like,
With Mary?
And it's funny. I was like, I thought that was her kid. And I was
Oh,
like,
that's
oh wow, dude, like that's like that like kind of makes sense because he's like pop, like they're doing the thing, and I was like, okay, that makes sense. Like yeah, it looks, and then kind of find out that wasn't like her kid. So I was like, okay, wow, she's really good. So there was a lot of styles. One, I was the first time I ever saw a robot battle ever. I was like, yo, like that's pretty insane. Like I've never seen anything like that. Like the level of control, like the facial expression, even just the eye contact, the stepping. I was like, yo, like this is like intense. Like I can't believe this is actually like
Yeah.
going down. Because me being a former krump dancer, like it's weird how like all these styles are somewhat incorporated in our dance too, whether we like acknowledge it or not. So it was really intense to see that. So in your highlight the style, what was like oh yeah, I really enjoyed this moment. Like I want to savor this moment right now.
I think two of my favorite moments was the robot and the animation because, of course, because I specialized in it, but also there is the best robots and the best animators here in Los Angeles. But there is no events for these dancers. Like all we have is, sometimes like community sessions, like we just meet up and we session and that's it, But there is no events, no contests, no showcases or anything like that. So it's kind of like doing that style without a community sometimes,
Yeah.
So it was really amazing for me to see the animation and the robot battles, especially because again, there was the older generation and there was the new generation, and some of these new generation people are never in the same room with these people, So, for example, seeing Blueprint and Flat Top and Bob Andre in one room for me was like wow, because Blueprint to me is one of the best in the animation game, and so that was really amazing to see for me because it's like because we specialize in krump, it's like there would be the best krumpers here in LA, but there was never events for krump,
Right, yeah.
So it's crazy to think about it as well, So now it even inspired me to actually think and maybe throw more jams for animation and robot battles only,
Okay. So besides this event that you just threw, are you saying there's really no event for animation or robot dancing?
No, there
Nope.
is no. There is one battle in Russia. It's called Back to the Future or something like that.
That's cool.
It's called and then that's like a robot animation battle. And those got crazy. I mean, those battles on YouTube get like 5, 6, 7 million views.
Oh wow.
So I know people love to watch that.
Right.
I just probably have to be me who will start it up over here.
If any of you guys are watching this, if you're animation or robot and you're really into this, if you're into animation, you probably know who Yaya is. If you're robot dancing, you probably know who Yaya is. you want to help, you should probably just hit up Yaya.
Yeah.
Hit her up with ideas. Hit her up with a budget. Talk about it. I think it's important to talk to people that are throwing these events to keep going with it. So yeah, I'd like to see more robot, robot and animation battles. Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be dope.
I think one of the coolest things was seeing Crump in your all styles, because I know like Crump isn't. It's kind of a controversial topic, I guess. I don't know how controversial it can be, or is it, but I know it's somewhat of a controversial topic. So to see like the Beast Camp and even myself dancing, and it was kind of insane because I didn't really ever dance. It was intense to see that. So
I know people love the performance, and I think it is controversial because of the drama around Crump, but also I think Crumpers make it more controversial than what it is sometimes, and they make it more dramatic than what it is sometimes because drama is just connected to Crump closely, you know.
yeah,
So, but from what I heard and what like people talk to me, people loved the Crump performance in the event.
yeah. The amount of flack I see on the internet versus when I was there was the complete opposite. It felt like everyone was good with it. I felt like everyone loved it, enjoyed it. We enjoyed everyone else's styles. They enjoyed our styles. I felt like there was really no controversy in terms of that. So it was really cool to see how accepting it was, and I'm hoping in the future that it go towards a
Yeah.
more accepting route. So
Yeah.
that'd be pretty interesting.
Did you? I had a question. So did you battle in all of? Cause I've seen you in most of it.
Yeah, I battled only in a robot and animation, and then I did 2 performances.
Oh, okay.
And even with that, I had too many costume changes already. So, so I stayed out of everything else. And also because like animation robot is really what I specialize in, and that's what I really wanted to rep. You know, like in reality, yes, I can pop, I can do it, but in reality, it is not my specialty at all. You know.
Okay. What's like your advice? There, you have a lot of followers on social media, Facebook, Instagram. A lot of people will follow you, and they want to dance like you. A lot of people take your classes worldwide, stateside, and all that. What's like your number one advice for people that are following you in terms of, hey, I want to do what Yaya's doing. I want to be on commercials. I want to do movies. I want to be an industry dancer, but I also want to be street. Like, how do you juggle all that? And what's your main advice to people that are trying to follow you?
I would say I know that nowadays for people it can be harder to really commit and dedicate their time. But trust me, if you really get the right training and get your skills up and your technique up, maybe it's going to take a couple of years, but it is going to naturally reward you with, you know, going into the industry or the commercial world or getting the jobs or, you know, like getting to travel and teach and stuff, you know. So whatever it is, whatever your specialty it is, I feel like people always should stay open-minded and learn more, learn from other aspects of dance, learn from other styles, but also really work on your specialty, like to really train, you know, like taking class that is only like 25% of the training, then other 25% is like spending the time by yourself at home and really training by yourself, you know. Other 25% is the going to the event, supporting, sessioning, battling, like putting the practice from your home into the action in the session, and then putting it into another action and another adrenaline rush into the battle, you know. And then also another 25% is the networking with people, and really not networking only for jobs, but also networking just because you want to be a part of a community, you know. So I would say, yeah, nowadays we are in the microwave generation, you know, when you want to get the skills in like the next couple moments, you know, and that's what happens a lot with the popular classes in the popular studios nowadays. You know, people go there, they learn the choreography, they can get themselves on tape real quickly, and they can blow up real quickly, you know. But as quick as you blow up, the come down is gonna be as quick as well, you know.
That's interesting, yeah.
So for me, my mission was always the long-term success, never the short-term success. So for me, it was never about spiking my followers up super fast. Yes, I want to build my followers, but I want to build my followers gradually over time for me not to have the crazy come up and the crazy come down, you know.
Right.
So definitely my advice would be to shoot for the long-term success and to really think like, okay, what is going to make me successful long-term and what is going to last? Because I know right now I'm in a position that with the technique and knowledge and skill I have, I can do more, not only commercial and industry stuff, but also I'm able to teach around the world, but also I'm able to do my own online classes, and people are buying my online classes from all over the world, you know.
Right.
But, you know, just I can go into a lot of aspects of the dance right now.
What is your website?
My website is JajaVankova.com.
Okay, and does that lead you to like your video training and stuff like that?
Yes, so I have a section there that is for the online classes,
Okay.
and people can find my online classes there. My online classes are also on vimeo.com/ondemand/learn from JajaVankova.
Oh wow. Okay. So you have all that. What are you currently teaching on the Vimeo on your web stuff right now?
So as right now, I have 8 classes up, and currently all these 8 classes are focusing on body control techniques and drills that are leading up to robot animation and crump classes later.
So out of all the styles you've dived into, and which is a lot, what's like your top 3 favorites, excluding the ones that you're like primarily known for? Like what's
The styles?
Yeah.
My favorite styles, excluding like animation and crump.
yeah.
Well, then it would be robot. But if I have to exclude
You have
robot
to
as
exclude
well,
robots because you like own a RUR thing, and that's you got to cut those 3 out. So what would be like your other favorite styles?
hip hop for sure.
Hip hop?
Because hip hop was my first style. Then it would be hard to say. Then it would be probably locking. And then I really like tap. I always wanted to learn tap.
Like
yeah.
Like that? Oh wow.
I always
That's
wanted to
interesting.
learn tap because my like biggest mission in dance is to like master musicality, and I know tap would be something that would help me to master my musicality.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Dang. So
Is there anyone that you would like to learn from?
Yes, and I forgot his name. I messed up. I have it written down though. If he's gonna see this ever, he will know. Actually, he will know.
He'll know it's him.
he'll know it's
I know
him.
him. I know him for a couple of years now. Yeah, he's
Is he
like
a-
an OG. He's like an OG in
Oh, he's
tap.
an OG?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
He makes his own tap shoes too and stuff.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
What's like your most in your entire dance career? What's your most memorable moment?
In my entire dance career, what's my most memorable moment? That's hard to say. I mean, I would have to say like when I first moved to America, you know, that would be probably my most memorable moment. It wouldn't be the best moment in my dance career because it wasn't all like peachy and paradise when I was moving, you know.
Yeah.
But it's definitely like, yeah, one of my most memorable moments.
How many movies have you been in?
I think 5.
5?
Yeah,
Can
5.
You, can you name them?
So the first one was Step Up All In. The second one was Teen Beach 2. Another one was called, at first it was called 48 Hours to Live. I don't know if they renamed it to something else later. I never seen it. Another one was the No Dance, No Life that
Nice.
Phoenix and Forsyth were producing. And then another one was, it's on Showtime. And I think it's called All Styles.
All styles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's tight. All right. Well, let me see. So what's on the horizon for you? What's the next projects? Where will we be seeing you next? And what's up for Yaya in the future?
As right now, I'm really focusing on growing RUR. Currently, I'm looking for an app developer to develop an RUR app. And I really want to grow the community of the students that I have and make it more accessible for them to learn from me, but also have more guests teaching with me on the RUR study guides. And also grow my online classes community as well, and definitely to do more RUR intensives that I just started recently.
So yeah, you had two recently, one in Seattle and then one in Los Angeles. How was that? Like, what was the turnout like? What were your expectations? What were your, and what happened when it actually happened? What happened?
Yeah, so the first thought of the RUR intensive came about, I would say, 8 months, 9 months ago, and so me, Nicola Rivera, and Effie Somrova, my two work partners from RUR, we were working on it. And so the first one we decided to do in Seattle. The reason why in Seattle, because I taught in the studio before, and most of the students out there are technically trained dancers, like contemporary ballet, jazz, and stuff like that. But they had like a really huge potential and talent, and really a lot of dedication for the street styles, and especially for the stuff that I was teaching them. And they really wanted me to come back and do something for more hours or more days. So I was like, okay, let me think about it. So that's where the first idea was first born, and that's how I came up with RUR Intensive, and that's why I brought it to Seattle to the studio. It was super nerve-wracking, of course, because it was my first time, like, okay, buying the flights, renting the studio, getting an Airbnb, like handling all the money, handling all the registrations, like handling the flyers, the banners, and all that stuff. So it was definitely very different than organizers invite me for an event, because all I need to do is get on the flight, go teach, and go home. So
Yeah.
that's all I need to do in that case. But in this case, it was very different. The whole weekend is 25 hours training with me. And in Seattle, we had 16 people, and in LA, we had 12 people plus some guests, so about 15 people in total. And I would say that both of the cities were super successful for me. I think that the turnout was really good, because I don't think I would want to have more people at the intensive neither. Because this way, I was able to give an individual attention to everybody throughout the weekend. What was really interesting was that in the beginning I was nervous about teaching for such long hours, but I ended up not being able to teach 70% of the material that I wanted to, because we were just running out of time. I was cutting their lunch break shorts, like we were like starting on time, like we were going overtime at the end of the day. And it still wasn't enough time for me. And again, like originally the RUR intensive was supposed to be for a week, and there was supposed to be 7 days, 12 hours of training every day.
Jeez.
And that's what
intense.
I wanted originally, right?
That's intense.
That's intense. That's intensive, okay? And then talking to other people, everybody was like, oh, I don't think nobody will want to dedicate the time. Like, nobody wants to work that hard nowadays anymore. And so then I cut it down to 3 days, and I've packed all the material from 1 week into 3 days. And yeah, it showed. I wasn't able to teach everything,
Oh,
wow. One day I will do the 1 week of 12 hours every day.
That'd be cool.
One day.
Like at a hotel or something like that. Everyone just pays for their rooms. It just goes down to like the little lobby area or the meeting area, events area. They can just have it right there all day, every day.
Yeah,
That's
all
sick,
day,
super
every
cool.
day.
When do you look to do another RUR intensive?
Another one we are gonna have in Dallas, and the other city is in Florida, I believe. Orlando. Is Orlando in Florida?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
I believe Orlando. There is a studio that is interested in hosting it. I've been in contact with them for some time now, so I think we are gonna do those two cities. Yeah.
Cool. So if you're in the Dallas or Orlando area, you should absolutely take Yaya's RUR intensive. It is intense, but I think anything worth your soul or any time is pretty intense. So you should do it. So, anything else? Oh, I already did my markers. Yeah. So I was wondering if you got anything. Oh yeah, it's here. Let's see. Okay, here, hold on.
We did get it right.
No, we can just keep going. Yeah.
I mean, it's up to you.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk more?
No, you guys can give me more questions.
Your favorite crump dancer, female crump dancer right now?
Ooh, favorite female crump dancer right now, One Shot.
Yeah, she's pretty.
Yeah.
She's pretty bomb. She's legit.
Yeah.
What about her?
Yeah. What about One Shot is like?
What's really, like, your favorite?
I think it's the fact that she really doesn't dance like a female, like
Yeah.
she really embraces the style, and I know that like some people say like, oh, why is it bad when females dance like females and guys dance like guys, or like,
Yeah.
but just the fact that she's really like able to embrace the style and has so much power and control and just her stance and her posture, her position, her character, everything is like, to me, like she was always dope and she's just getting better and better all the time, and like for me it's always like pleasure to battle her as well. I battled her a couple times. I think I battled her 3 times.
Oh wow.
And it's always a good challenge because I just personally like to battle the best, So when I have the chance to like call out people in the battle and One Shot would be there, I would call her out. If Terminator was there, I would call out Terminator,
Oh man.
Yeah, Terminator already knows.
Has Terminator ever battled One Shot? Have they ever
Yes.
done that? Okay. I was wondering.
Yes,
That always
I
like
believe
that would
so,
have been a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, because they battled at the $8 in Crumpire last year. They did the final together.
Oh wow.
So they battled for so many rounds. Yeah. Yeah, it was Terminator. Yeah.
What about let's see. So you've traveled to pretty much all of the crump events, every crump event they can offer. You've been to almost every one of them. What's like your favorite? And don't get mad if she chooses EBS, Illis, Crumpire, Beast Camp, or any of them. I'm just asking her, what's your favorite and why?
Yeah.
And it's okay. It's not a diss to anyone else. I think everyone's event is great, and I think that's why everyone goes to them. So, yeah.
My favorite crump event would be Crumpire.
Why?
And the reason why is because it's not just one event. It's numerous events packed in 10 days. And you have 4 or 5 crump workshops every day and different event every night. So for me, to anybody, if I recommend a crump event, I would always recommend Crumpire, because if you already are spending the money in going so far, then might as well go for so many days, and really like learn. Yes, I love ILS and EBS, but again, you are going there for one event for that 1 day or 2 days, but Crumpire is just a whole 10-day experience, and it's on the 6-7 day you hate crump, like you're crump overload, and then you just gotta push through it,
What time do people wake up to crump at the Crumpire?
I mean, that all depends on everybody, but the day really starts like at 9 in the morning, so
That's crazy.
I don't think I ever woke up at 9 in the morning.
Like, who wakes up at 9 a.m. like
to crump.
to crump? Like, that's insane. Like, that's crazy. But people do it.
Yeah.
That just blows
People
my
do
mind.
it. People take all the workshops, then they do the event, they party, they sleep for like 2-3 hours, and then do it all over again. I cannot do that anymore. My body cannot handle that anymore. Yeah.
Dude, that's just insane. 2 to 3 hours, crump all day, all night, swim, go everywhere together. That's like intense. I wouldn't be able to handle the jet lag. I'd probably just be able to start getting into it halfway through the Crumpire.
Yeah.
But that's dope. Shout out to Slam, all
Yeah,
the Russia
definitely.
Crump for putting up one of the most amazing events ever. So, and shout out to Kid Eyes and Grishka and Dirty for the Illis and all that. And what's the best USA event to you?
Crump?
Yeah.
Oh, Beast Camp for sure.
Yes.
100%.
100%.
100%. Tricky question.
question.
Tricky question.
I have to be biased. I'll say that too, just because I'm biased. So, yeah, we're gonna end this today. And which one did you want to have anything? Do you have anything else that you want to say freely to people that are watching, that are listening? Any advice or any words of wisdom?
Yeah, just shout out to Beast Camp and shout out to John Man and Mike for doing this podcast. I think it's going to be really great. And yeah, shout out to the Crump community animation, robot community, popping community, to everybody who showed love, support at our Highlight Style event this weekend. And shout out to Our Your Alliance and my team, bang. Shout out to IME crew, bang.
Dang.
Shout out
Bang.
to Beast Cam again,
Bang.
bang.
Dang, that's tight. Okay, well, this has been the Thought Dojo. This is our very first podcast, and we look to do more, and we'll probably do more with Yaya as she develops her skills and she throws more events, and we'll be getting more and more from her as she goes. And so follow her at Jaja Vankova
Yes.
on Instagram and
everything.
Facebook, and then JajaVankova.com for
Website.
for the online training.
Online classes, yes.
And follow me, johnjohn.mp3 at Instagram. So JON.mp3, and follow producer Mike at
Mike Beast _
spell it
MikeBeast
underscore. Thanks you guys for watching, and tune in and subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notifications, and we'll see. If you guys have any questions, comments, or you guys want us to interview certain people, we'll be doing a whole bunch of other interviews and podcasts with different professions. So be on the lookout for that, and follow us on Instagram, the Thought Dojo. Follow Yaya, follow the Beast Camp, and we'll see you guys next time.
Hey.
Hopefully Yaya's with us again too.
Hey.
Yeah, if you guys like this interview, this podcast, hit like 1,000 times so we can get Yaya back, because she's dope.
Hey.
All right, y'all. Later.